Hi, we're testing out some eggs here on the homestead. We had some broody hens, and we noticed that one of them got off of her eggs recently. So I decided to take out the eggs and see which ones are good and which ones are not good. Because what happened was she got off of those eggs and she moved to a different bin. And she's laying on some new eggs. So the eggs that were in her bin, I counted them and I left them alone just to see if she wanted to move them. Usually it has to be within like a couple of hours or so. But what happened was another chicken went in there and laid some eggs on top of the eggs that she left. So I was like, well, which ones are good and which ones are not? So I'm just going to show you guys the float method, whether they sink or if they float. Usually if they float, that means that they are bad. It means they've been out, it's been several days or weeks or even months. Depends on whenever you find an egg, whether it's in the coop or out in the yard. This is a good overall method to try to see if it sinks or if it floats. So we're going to try this one out. So as you can see, this one is floating. It did not sink to the bottom, so we know this is a bad egg. Let's see if this one floats or if it sinks. All right, so this one is not sinking all the way, and it's not floating all the way. It's sinking somewhat, but still trying to stand up. So I would not trust this egg because that means that bacteria has gotten in it. Or, like I said, she was laying on some eggs. So it could be a baby that was forming. See, that one's floating. Did not sink at all. So it could have been like a baby that was floating. Excuse me. Yep, that one's floating too. Could have been a baby that was forming in there. And I really believe that chickens have an instinct. If they know that an egg may not be fertile, or if they see that development's taking too long, taking too long for the chick to hatch, I believe they have those instincts. But this one did not sink, you guys. This one floated as well. But chickens are very smart. Yep, that one's floating. It tried to sink some, but it's still floating. So those are the bad ones. Let's try these here. That one's sinking. It's not floating at all. It's down on the bottom. So we know that one's good. But I'm still going to be cautious and crack it. I'm not going to crack it in a pan or in any kind of recipe that I'm going to be making, but I'll just crack them separate in a bowl just to make sure they're okay. That one's doing like the other one did, where it's trying to sink some but not fully. But it's not floating. Let's try this one. So that one's good. And it's not floating. That one's sinking to the bottom. This has been like a tried and true thing for us. And of course with the fresh eggs from the coop, they have that outer bloom on them. And usually I do not wash them right away. So see, I've tested these. So I'll make sure that I cook these right away, just because they have been wet. Usually whenever I go to make like an omelet or scrambled eggs or something, Usually that's when I go to wash my eggs, is when I'm ready to cook with them. I don't wash them and put them in the refrigerator because you want to protect that outer bloom. The outer bloom helps to prevent bacteria from getting in through the eggs. And usually the eggs that you buy at the store, they have been washed. I'm not sure all the methods that they do. From what I understand, it's bleach. Don't quote me on that. But they usually wash them. So the eggs that you buy in the grocery store are not as fresh as you would get them from like a roadside stand, or at your farmer's market, or buying them directly from someone's home that raises chickens. They usually have the good bloom on them that protects them from bacteria from getting into the eggs. So usually the store-bought eggs don't last you as long as your farm-fresh eggs. A rule of thumb, some people say that 45 days with your farm-fresh eggs. If you put them in the refrigerator, they last you that long, 45 plus days. But if you leave them out on the counter without washing them, they're good for like 2 to 3 weeks. Depends on really the temperature in your house. If it's the heat of the summer and you've got your windows open and it's hot in your house, they may not last as long on the counter. But if you have them in a controlled temperature environment, they should last you at least a good 2 to 3 weeks. But usually, like I said, I do not wash my eggs until I go to crack them and eat them. But just make sure you washing your hands afterwards. Just being, is a good practice, just washing your hands afterwards, because you don't want to contaminate anything else from after you crack your eggs. But since you're not washing them, until you go to eat them, just a good practice of washing your hands afterwards, just being cautious. But it's just a good way to test your eggs. So if you have an issue like I did, or would just like to test your eggs when you get them from the coop, or if you've left them out on the counter for 2 to 3 weeks and you just want to test your eggs before you eat them, it's a great method. Using the float or sink method. Remember, floating is bad, but if it sinks, it's good. And if it's that in between, I would just use caution and just make sure it looks okay and smells okay before you actually cook it up and consume it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it. Have a great day.